Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of POV with Dom. I'm Dom, I'm your host. Wow, we have reached the penultimate episode of my lovely little podcast. It's only series 1 though, don't worry, surprise, season 2 will be coming. I don't want to leave you guys on a sad little note. Oh, actually, I might for mysterious reasons. Okay, I'm going to just quickly Men in Black mind wipe you, and we're going to go back and do that again. It's the penultimate episode of this podcast, which sadly means there's going to be no more episodes after the next one. Oh, I can't actually, that's just gaslighting, isn't it? Just gaslighting. Anyways, hello everyone. Hope you're doing well. My name is Dom. It's a full moon today in Scorpio. So recently I've been feeling some level of crazy. And I decided on the toilet today to write down today's topics that I'd like to talk about because, there's a few things I want to get off my chest. I feel like this is my sort of therapy, trauma dumping little session, which is really bad actually, because I'm trying to live by evil eye. If you don't know what that is, evil eye is basically when you sort of like keep your energy and your things to yourself. You don't tell people your business because it can have proper like, what's it called? Like an energetic, interruption, if you will. Someone can think bad things about the thing that you're doing and it can stop it or slow it down, whatever. I'm trying to be cautious of who I tell my business to, but you know what, if you listen to this podcast, even if you hate listen, you're still somehow supporting me, so I'm gonna just transform into something positive as usual. But today's topics are quite positive actually, but I will say this full moon has got me feral. I'm super hot. I'm running really hot. All the windows are open in my flat. It's literally like 4 degrees outside. How cold is it? It's 8 degrees, sorry. It's not warm. It's bloody fucking freezing. Can we quickly talk about that? BBC weather, can you hurry up? Can you sort the interns who are running the weather machine out? It should be 20 degrees. It's May next week. But that's what we're going to get in with the first topic of today. It's May next week, meaning we've finished with quarter one of this year. And I'm introducing something this year called semi-New Year resolutions. Right? So semi-New Year resolutions are essentially my New Year's resolutions from April onwards, because let's be fucking real, who's stuck to their New Year's resolutions? Unless you have Strava and you did a run. Who? I sound like an owl, but who? No one. Not that I know. Everyone that one of my friends decided to give up smoking and vaping and drink. Yeah. Last weekend, went to a concert with them. What were they doing? All 3. I know. So I'm going to start with... I'm not going to learn French. I'm sorry. I will try and get Duolingo. I will. I've had it before. I got to like 60 days and then I just gave up. I'm going to try and do that again. But right now, wait, that's a lie. I have stuck to a New Year's resolution. I did the podcast. Oh my God, I'm such a silly little sod. Wow. And I also did the YouTube videos too. I've been sticking on them. Holy shit. Wait. Oh my God, I'm actually amazing. I've stuck to 2 New Year's resolutions and I've done them. Oh my God, that's so rewarding. But anyways, the point I'm trying to get at is semi-New Year resolutions, right? I've not learned French at all this year, okay? That's something that I really, really would like to try and do. And also the gym, I've been super slacking. I mean, to be fair, the London Marathon over the weekend that's just gone has got me so pumped to go for a run. I tried to go for one today. Not looking good, bruv. All right. I'm borderline asthmatic. So I'm not just saying that to have a little giggle. I genuinely am. But yeah, for this semi-New Year resolution, I want to get into the gym more, upgrade my fitness. Hell, I might even join the demonic gays at Barry's. Why not? Because I keep getting invited to there and all my friends who go are like, it's amazing. You should so do it. Why are they American? We live in London. But if you know what Barry's is, it's like this boot camp from hell. It's just, it's this sort of like trendy gym, like Pilates, and I actually don't know what the fuck goes on there. All I know is that it's got red LED lights and it's my idea of hell. But I want to try it at least once so I can live to tell the tale, so I can go on my biography. Do you know what I mean? I also want to do a wardrobe clear out. I had a bit of like, what's it called? A hate for my clothes recently. I was like, I wear all these fuckers all the time. I need new outfits. So I'm going to do a huge day where I just go through all my clothes, take pictures of them all and pop them on Vinted and just, if not, send them all to charity and just buy a whole new wardrobe. As I'm in the financial position to do that because I manifested my wealth. I won't lie, this year, my manifestations for money has come true. Like, again, hashtag evil eye, I'm not going to get into detail, but I am so grateful that the hard work I put in last year is paying off this year. So like little old me who would beg for a MacBook or, you know, an electronic. I'd see all my friends at school, right, on their Snapchat stories being like, thanks mom, or sorry, thanks Santa. They said Santa, by the way, for those that are age 12 and below. Don't ask why. And then they'd have, you know, the newest iPad, the newest laptop. And I'd be like, oh my God, mum, what did I get for Christmas? And I'd get like, you know, a pack of Mushy Monsters. Not that I'm ungrateful, but you know, when you have that subconscious sort of comparison with your classmates and you're like, oh my God, they got that and I got this. I sound like a sport brat. But hey, listen, I gave my mum my old MacBook for free. You know what I mean? So, hey, it pays to have a successful son. Where the fuck am I going with this? No, please, because this is so going to get quoted out of context and I'm going to have a hate TikTok by tomorrow morning. I promise you, I'm not ungrateful. Capiche? What I'm trying to get at is just like, you know, I'm very grateful I'm in the position I am now because when I was younger, my funds were not there. All right? Anyways, gonna get a new wardrobe. Another semi-New Year's resolution that I've got is try to stop struggling to get stuff done, like thoroughly, like proper stuff. I start a task and then midway through that I start another one, and then midway through that I start another one, and then all the other tasks are like left half done. And it's like, I can't keep doing that to myself or future Dom. For example, this morning, there was a bit of plastic on the floor from like a packet of like spot patches that I'd opened on my bathroom floor. And I kept slipping on it for the past few days. I was like, okay, I'll just do that. And I'll do that later. Today, I just like, picked it up, chucked it out the door onto the carpet out here. And then I was like, what the fuck? The bin is there. Let's just pick it up and pop it in the bin. You know? Like, my brain is a little bit weird there. And also getting up early as well is something that I'm really trying to fight for. I have been getting into somewhat a routine, but not a routine that I'm fully proud of. So that's a routine that I'm going to try and get into. Wake up early, finish my tasks fully. I want to get to a bloody coffee shop before 9 a.m. Is that too much to ask? Because every single night I'm like, okay, cool. Get to bed for 11 a.m. Fake tan on, hair mask in, face mask on. You're going to have a nice peppermint tea and go to bed by 11. Wake up at 7 a.m, get into a coffee shop for 9. Boom. Does it happen? Does it fuck? I'm here at 11 a.m. going, oh my God, I haven't left yet. It's a problem. I am actually doing really well, by the way, guys. This sounds like I'm not. But what I'm trying to say is I want to get my stuff done that I'm getting done earlier in the day, because those days where I do get up early and work early, it's noticeable. It's like 9 p.m. and I would have done everything ever and then have like 3 hours to chill before I go to bed. Do you know what I mean? I want to adopt an I don't chase, I attract mindset, right? So basically, I don't chase, I attract is a saying that I've had in my life for a few years now. However, this completely tangent here, but I went into a vintage shop in 2021. This is super embarrassing, but you know what? Fuck it, we're all friends here. There was a worker there that I had an absolute crush on. I think it was called fucking Limerence or some shit. He did not give a fuck. He id-gaffed about me. He did not care that I existed. Little old me. He smiled at me and served me clothes, and like we had a bit of a chat, and he complimented my outfit or something, and then I was like, I hear wedding bells. I hear wedding bells. We're getting married next spring. So naturally, I dragged my friend Heidi, who I was staying in London for the week. We were there for the week. We paid for an Airbnb. We were staying there every single day. And every single day, what do? We went straight back to Stratford Westfield to go back to this vintage pop-up to meet this guy. So much so. Actually, no, I don't want to finish the story. Something should be left unsaid. But what I'm trying to say is, right, from that story, my friend Heidi, the whole week I kept saying, I don't chase, I attract. He's going to reach out to me. And then on the final day, she obviously lost her fucking nerve. I would too. Heidi, if you're listening, I'm so sorry. And she goes, you don't chase, you hunt. So yeah, that was certainly something. And I really, really do appreciate her saying that, because it kind of like whacked my head like a church gong and made me realize, oh my God, what the fuck am I doing? So safe to say that man never saw me again, and I never saw him. But hey, I can look back at it with hate or cringe or embarrassment, or I can look back at it as I was developing into a young adult who could handle relationships fairly. And that's where mindset comes into things. We're now moving on to mindset. Everything in life is about a mindset, right? How we view a friend, how we view our outfit, how we view ourselves. It's all a mindset. If we take a rejection as the end of all things, like I used to do all the time, then that's what it will be. and your life will become super, super, super claustrophobic and awful. However, one thing that I've been doing this year is reframing my mindsets in all areas of life. It's not an overnight thing. It takes fucking ages, but it's something that really does help with a lot of things. For example, my first few big rejections were from... This is actually really funny. I can't say the brand name, but I will give you a little hint as to who it is. I was in the running to play a character on this kids show a few years ago now. Like, I'm thinking 7 or 8 years ago, when I was a kid YouTuber. And I went into the headquarter offices of this huge brand, and they were like, we would love to have you audition and stuff. I did. And I didn't get it. And they came back to me with a really nice rejection email, like, Dom, we really appreciate your time. However, it's not going to go your way this time. I was crushed. I was heartbroken. I was like, nope, that's it for me. Never want to be an actor again. By the next week, I was completely fine. But now, 7 years later, I'm working with said brand. I've been to their offices loads of times, and I'm one of their ambassadors. So it just goes to show that, like, when you get rejected the first time round, if you have the mindset rejection is protection and redirection, it doesn't necessarily mean you're never going to get it. It means that, like, in time, you could get it again. It's just not meant for you at this current time. That's one mindset. And let me just say, there's a billion mindsets to adapt to be a healthy person. No one's going to get it perfect the first time around. Hell, I'm not even a perfect person yet. Another mindset. But what I'm trying to say is the mindsets that I do want to have should be beneficial to me and almost upgrade me as a person. So, for example, like, I don't know, if a friend is rude to me and instead of me going home and crying about it, I'm like, okay, cool, look at it from their angle. They're probably struggling. It's probably sort of projected because of how they're feeling. I shouldn't overthink it too much. As long as I know that I'm good and I'm all right and the thing that they commented on is not true, then that's fine, you know? I hope I'm making sense with that. But essentially, mindsets, easy, mate. Another mindset is that the world revolves around you. Someone said this to me the other day. They were like, you think the whole world revolves around you? I was like, yeah, because it does. Like, not because I've got a Leo placement in my big three. I mean, Leo actually statistically and scientifically exists in the middle of the universe. So the whole world does revolve around Leo star signs. Anyways, I digress. The whole world does realistically revolve around me, but it revolves around you too. Listener, I want you to listen to this very carefully, right? If you're someone who lacks confidence, remind yourself that your world does revolve around you because you came into this world with yourself. You're going to leave with yourself, no one else. So if you think about it, you are actually the main character. Yes, I sound like endless drivel from a 34-year-old white woman who has driftwood affirmations in her kitchen and a huge glass of red wine on Instagram Reels, but I do think that this is true. Everyone has an element of main characterism to them. It could be a disease, could be delusion, but hey, fuck it, admit me to the hospital right now. I think it's beneficial to have that mindset and think, hey, I want to be the main character. I am the main character of my life. Everyone else is just side characters. Like, I'm a side character in your life right now. I could just be an extra on for 2 seconds while you're scrolling through Instagram Reels. Hell, I don't know. But what I'm trying to say is, tell yourself that you are the main character. Because if you don't, and if you, like, put other people... Since when we were a writer, babe, like, why are you writing in your situationship partner or your toxic friend as the main character of your story? Like, no, that's not what we're going to do here. So I am judging you. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. I am judging you. You should be the main character of your story always. If that means you have to be selfish and have a night in, fuck it. Do it. If it means that you have to let somebody down and say, I'm really sorry, I'm not feeling up to today, fine. As long as it's not me, because then that pisses me off. I'm joking. But, you know, like, start giving yourself more credit. There's so many submissions that I was going to read for today's episode, which is what prompted me to do this, like, talk. Lacking confidence. And I feel like confidence is something that I've only sort of really properly achieved over the past year. Because lest we forget, less than 5 years ago, 6 years ago now, 2018, I was at home, couldn't leave my house for anxiety reasons. I literally could not go to the shop down the road to get my mum's food for her. Like, I was so scared of bumping into people from my school and people my age. And now I'm like a social butterfly. I love talking to people. I love going up to random strangers and asking them questions. I don't feel fearful when my McDonald's order's called. Like, that's just growth. And again, circling back, it's another mindset. Because that's all it is. Confidence is a mindset. It's like, I'm never going to see these people again. So why is it a bad thing if I go up to them and be like, hi, can you help me with XYZ? Hi, I love your outfit. You know? I think fear holds so many of us back, and it's so jarring. Like, I've actually witnessed it this week with a few people close to me. They're held back by such fear, and it's like peace and love, but like, you can't let that dictate your life. You genuinely can't, because the fear of the unknown is like the thing that stops so many fun things from happening. Like, if I let fear win, I wouldn't live in London. That leap was fucking scary, but I'm glad I did it. And usually, I'm going to bring it back again, growth takes place when you're challenged. So if you're doing big things that are fearful and you're fearing it and you're thinking, I'm not confident enough for this, don't do it. Nothing changes if nothing changes. Do you know what I mean? I need a fucking book. Damn, I need a book. All I do is just spout goodness on this podcast, and you guys are hopefully listening to it with a wide open ear. That's a horrible thought, sorry. But to conclude that point, you are the main character of your own story. So start embracing yourself as such. Stop putting yourself down as a side character or guest star. Like, you are the main character, all right? Anyways, moving on, back to semi-New Year's resolutions, because I want to adapt the mindset of how the world revolves around me more. That's another mindset, but which is also a semi-New Year's resolution, right? I also want to enjoy time alone more. I feel like recently I've been sacrificing too much of my time for other people, and the last time I really, really sort of delved in deep and gave myself time was last August. The end of last summer was such a fun time. I just discovered Tam on YouTube, who's part of my 16th agency, and her videos were just sublime. I was also going through the heartbreak healing era, which was so beautiful. I felt so hopeful for the future. I mean, I still feel really great now, don't get me wrong, but you know, I think winter just does take it out of me. Winter's a fucking harsh few months. Like, she is just ill. Do you know what I mean? Like, she's just fucking grim. And like, now that the trees are green, I'm like, cool, great. The sun shows its face for about 2 seconds a day now, and it's still really, really cold. And TBH, it's getting quite annoying. London, as I said at the beginning of this podcast, you need to sort your fucking weather out. But what I'm trying to get at with that is spending more time alone. I go on such tangents here, it's crazy. Spending more time alone is something that I really want to do more of. But I'm going to leave you with a question that you can answer on the Q&A function on the Spotify platform. And the question for you, listener, is, what is your semi-New Year's resolution, and are you going to keep to it? So, for example, mine are going to the gym more, trying to learn a language, adopting mindsets, as we've spoken about, putting myself as the main character of my story, and also giving myself more time alone. I feel like that's a really beneficial thing for me to do and focus on, and then more sort of introspective. And yours can be anything you want. I do check all the Q&A submissions and also all the comments that you guys leave. It's very, very sweet, and I really do appreciate it. Now we need to get into a bit of a sad note. Now, at the beginning, I did gaslight you all and say there's no more episodes after this, and I'm wink, wink. It is really, really sad that we are coming to the end of Series 1. This has been such a little fun project for me. I will admit, I have not been super happy, and I'm going to be brutally honest with you, listeners. I am so unhappy with myself for the way that I've sort of discarded this podcast, to the point where I film episodes the day before. I don't put much thought into them. So I was going to make this a run of 20 episodes. Can you believe? I feel like it's best to quit while you're ahead almost. And also know that I will be back. Wink. So yeah. And the next time I do something like this, Series 2, it will be a lot more beautiful, more planned. We'll hopefully have a studio space, and something more will come of it, because I feel like, you know, as much as I'd love to sit and chat to you guys every single week, and it is a possibility I could do that if you want, I feel like it's boring. I feel like I'm saying the same stuff in slightly different fonts, and I just want to put more thought into it, more time and energy. And again, I think putting this on the back burner for a few months and let myself get into a good routine will allow me to then have more time to blossom and grow ideas, guests, things for this podcast, and really investing more time into it. So next week will sadly be the final episode of this podcast, Series 1. And I'm going to shut up. You guys know Series 2 is coming, come on. But hey, keep an eye on the POV with Dom socials. It has been an absolute pleasure talking to you all, and I shall see you all in the final episode next week. Let me know what you'd like it to be on, if there's any topics you want to talk about, and I shall see you all soon. Thanks for listening. Bye, everyone.